All right, what up, YouTube? This is No Cap, No Filter. I'm your host, Marley G, back at y'all another episode of Running With You. And tonight we got to run about this clip I came across. It's been getting some traction on social media. I haven't seen it, so we're going to react to it together. But it's with Kristin Cavallari. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Y'all could let me know down in the comment section. But she's a reality TV personality. She was once married to Jay Cutler, and she revealed that after the success of her jewelry business, gave her the confidence just to go ahead on and just divorce Jay Cutler. Oh, Jay Cutler, man. If you were around my age, bro, you was around that time when Jay Cutler was a quarterback for the Bears, and strong arm, good talented arm of a quarterback, but fell victim to being an athlete that got divorced. But let me go ahead on and get into this clip, man. A lot of people been talking about it. Let's see what she's talking about.
I will tell you that what ultimately gave me the confidence to leave my marriage was the success of Uncommon James.
Really?
Yeah. That gave me the confidence to be like, yeah, I know what I'm doing. And which is interesting because if I didn't have Uncommon James, I could have taken half of his money, right? But because I had this company, there was a really large asset on our balance sheet. I didn't get anything, which I'm so happy about now. But I don't get any money from my ex-husband. I had to give him half the value of Uncommon James in cash and properties and everything else. Yeah. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah, interesting is one word for it.
I was really pissed at the time. And now I'm so thankful because I think for me, I've needed these things in my life to keep going. And I have found that is an instance where I was like, I'm going to fight harder. Those little moments push me and I actually come out the other side stronger.
What advice would you give to other women that end up like in a situation where obviously there's like financial entanglement? Like now having the benefit of hindsight, would you have done anything differently?
I don't know what you can do differently. I mean, I will say, I don't believe that just because you're married to someone, you're entitled to half, man or woman, on either side of it. Because unless your blood, sweat, and tears are in it too, and you can prove
if you
that
start something together, it's different.
That's very different. But if it's just because you were married, I don't agree with that at all. I think those laws need to change. But other than that, I mean, no, I don't know what else I could have done differently. I mean, I'm still so thankful that I started on Common James to begin with. I'm glad I did it all. It just sort of is what it is.
But it's kind of amazing and freeing to think that you actually started the very thing that ultimately has given you freedom.
Absolutely.
The fact that you were able to create a company that meant that you could leave an unhappy relationship, that meant that actually you could uncouple yourself from that man and still come out on the other end.
Exactly.
With the one who has the asset.
Exactly.
It's pretty impressive.
Thank you.
Okay, man. I didn't think she was gonna say that. Jay Cutler had got half of it, at the time, and I don't think he kept getting more. I'm assuming he got half of it for what it was worth at the time, and since then it's still been growing and just turned into a successful business. But it's crazy though, because I never really heard of people going into business for jewelry. Most women, when they go into business, as an entrepreneur, they usually do the same old typical, start a makeup line. They'll probably do something involving skin or do something involving hair, but jewelry, that's kind of clever right there. And it's crazy how just because they were married, Jay Cutler got half of that, and Jay Cutler was a millionaire, off of him being an athlete. Now, to her own right, I do believe that she probably was a millionaire too, because she's been famous. Well, I don't know. She's been famous for a while. She got popular off the hills, Laguna Beach, stuff like that, So back in them times where MTV was showing all these reality shows and stuff, she had got popping during that era. So she probably was, having money in her own right, but not as much as Jay Cutler, of course, because when he was getting contracts from them NFL teams he played for, that was some huge money. So the fact that he got half from her, I know she was kind of pissed off. So I do agree with her. I do think these marriage laws is an outdated system. Like, of course, what she said. I do believe if you could actually prove that you were at the start of a company with someone and y'all did this together, I do believe that you can have some type of compensation to what happened with the funds or the money or whatnot. But I don't think that just because you're married, whatever you got going on, you need to give it to your spouse, like man or woman. I just believe that's a outdated system. And one of the biggest wealth one of the biggest transfers of wealth is women divorcing their husbands. So women are incentivized to divorce their husbands. They sometimes it's something that they probably don't want to do, but their mom is in their ear, their auntie, their cousins, their friends. Oh, divorce them, go divorce them. You're gonna get this, you're gonna get that. You're entitled to this, you're entitled to that, especially if the man is successful. Now, if the man don't have nothing, then they probably just telling her to divorce him. You deserve better just because the grass is greener on the other side. But sometimes women would divorce a man out of spite, and hell have no fury than a woman scorned. So she's gonna want to take half of what he's got, and and sometimes that's the game plan from the jump. Like these athletes, my cousin, I'm about to see him later on tonight. He told me the girl that he knew was friends with another girl, and she plotted on dating Dirk Nowitzki, and they've been married to this day. But she plotted on Dirk Nowitzki to get with him, get pregnant by him, and just live a soft life. Now she didn't ever divorce him, so that's good. So I guess she's good where she's at. Happy wife, happy life. I guess Dirk Nowitzki living up to that motto. But for the most part, a lot of these women, they try to go get with a successful man, and if things hit the shitter, go ahead on the divorce. I mean, they're incentivized to do such. So,
You have a relationship with your ex?
Just a co-parenting relationship, I'd say that's pretty much it.
Did you have to make a lot of trade-offs like during that period, like other trade-offs in terms of like your ambition and the things that you wanted to do?
I look at that time period where my life, like right before my divorce, during my divorce, or I guess I should say right before, I felt just so overwhelmed with everything. I was hosting, I had launched Uncommon James. I was doing a reality show. I was doing cookbooks. I had 3 little kids. My marriage was falling apart. Like I felt like I couldn't breathe. Yeah. And so when we finally split, I felt like I could breathe again. Like I had a minute, and that felt really nice. And it felt like all of a sudden I had some freedom, and it was during COVID also, which I think was
timing.
was a huge blessing. And so I just felt like I could come up for air again.
What a gift.
I needed that. Yeah, really badly. And I felt like I found myself again. I got my spark back.
And that was another thing during COVID. A lot of couples had to endure each other. Like a lot of these men who's powerful athletes, rich men, businessmen who always off doing business. When COVID happened, a lot of them had to be home with their wives a lot. So a lot of them had to really get to know their wives. And a lot of them realized like, damn, we're not that compatible when we got to just be around each other an ample amount of time. And that caused a lot of divorce. So men, be mindful of who you marry. Women, be mindful of who you marry. Be able to marry someone who, when things get hard, y'all can communicate. Be able to marry someone when they are upset or mad. They don't just say no nasty things that you can't come back from. And one thing about it, a lot of men, they judge women when women want to move on and things aren't right, and they want to, go find their happiness. But men got to realize that women are human too. You want the same for your daughter if your daughter is in a relationship that they're not liking. And I think I remember seeing their relationship when they were looking for a house or something like that. I don't remember why I was watching this at, but I think I remember seeing a little part of their relationship. And it just seemed like they had no real chemistry. She was just like the life of the party type, outgoing, outspoken, like that. And Jay Cutler was just a whole mellow, laid back, nonchalant type of guy. And I was like, damn, I don't think they're going to work out. And lo and behold, now look at what's going on. But yeah, man, marriage, bro. I do think a lot of the marriage system need to be overworked, especially when it comes to the financial aspect of it, and splitting up. That's the only thing about me, bro. Like I always had a problem with that. Like I rather, when we in a relationship, it's just me and you, not a three-way relationship with me, you, and the government, and they got to tell us how we got to split our assets down. What you're going to receive, what I'm going to receive, instead of us just communicating with each other and coming to a common ground. My partner right now had divorced his girl, and he make a lot of money as an electrician, and he still have to pay on the house. He still have to, pay on this and that, and he not even with her no more, or living together in a whole nother relationship. Like that's crazy to me. That is crazy to me.
Like I was a shell of who I was, and I didn't even realize it at the time. But then when I started to get my spark back, even my mom and all my friends were like, "Oh my God, I can't even, you're back to your old self." And so that time period felt like just freedom and refinding myself,
which is like,
it's huge. And
huge.
I hired my C-suite level in the exact same time, in the height of COVID. Like I think
because the business was exploding.
Exploding. And so I think the last episode of Very Cavallari aired in March of 2020. We announced our divorce in April of 2020. My C-suite level started in May of 2020. It was just like boom, boom, boom.
The world is shutting down.
Literally,
2020.
I don't even know what is happening. And in the same breath, then I think because my C-suite level came in, it allowed, not only did I have a little bit more time now, because at the time Jay and I did 50-50 with the kids. That has since changed, but we did at the time. So I had every other week where
you could pour yourself into
what am I doing with all my time? It was amazing. And I also now have people helping me with the company. And so I'm not on emails till 10 p.m. every night. And I just needed it so bad. It was.
And what's somebody in the chat put down, what's a C-suite level? Like, what's that? I would ask ChatGPT, but I like to have the comment section tell me what was something, and I get the information from y'all, and somebody else could read it and they could know. Yeah, man. When a woman feel like she have the confidence that she doesn't need you financially, because a lot of the times these women are getting married for financial insecurity reasons. If she were to have a business that started thriving, which a lot of them don't, they're going to, go ahead on and have that confidence to feel like, well, I don't need you no more, and go ahead on and do what's best for them. And, they have the right to do that. If things not working out and you didn't try it and you actually put the time in to save your marriage, but if things just not working out, then go ahead on and just separate. I think it's for the best. But man, one thing about being an entrepreneur and these women be having all this going on, it takes a toll on your marriage, man. Not all people could just endure having to, take care of home, take care of the kids, having a loving relationship with your man. And on top of that, you got this business to run. Like she said, she was checking emails at 10 o'clock at night, responding to all these, email that she's getting. But once she got the team running to do that, and once, the business start thriving and she could just put money into people taking care of that for her, then it took a large burden off her. So once you get it to that level, it'll be better managed. But man, the time before that is very hard and enduring. I don't think people realize that when it comes to entrepreneurship and the toll it can take on your relationship, especially as a woman. See, as a man, you kind of already know what you got going on. You got to be the provider. You got to go out there and make things happen. So you got to go fight the world. You got to go be Superman when you get back home. But when it comes to a woman, it's hard to navigate all that. That's why me personally, I would want a girl who just a housewife. I don't want her having to deal with nothing else going on. That's what I would want personally. But I don't know what y'all think down in the comment section. How do y'all feel about women, feeling confident to lead a man just so happen their career just start taking off financially wise, You think it's wrong? You think that you should just stick through your marriage? Let me know what y'all think down in the comment section. If you like the video, hit the like button. If you're not subscribed yet, what you're waiting on. Until next time, I'm out.